I was dreaming of Lily and Russell, and I awake to find you.
Your medicine, Mr. Whiteside.
What time is it?
About 6:30.
Where's Miss Cutler?
She went out.
Out?
With Mr. Jefferson.
All right, I've turned the lights off, Mr. Whiteside.
Yes, go right ahead, John.
And Sarah has something for you, Mr. Whiteside. Made it special.
She has? Where is she? Oh, my souffle.
Here I am, Mr. Whiteside.
She walks in beauty like the night, and in those deft hands there is the art of Michelangelo. Oh, let me taste the new goodie. Poetry. Sheer poetry.
I put in such absinthe in the dough. Do you like it?
Ambrosia.
And I got you a terrapin Maryland for dinner.
I have known but 3 great cooks in my time. The Khedive of Egypt has one, my great aunt Jennifer another, and the 3rd, Sarah, is you.
Oh, Mr. Whiteside.
Tell me, how would you like to come to New York and work for me? You and Johnny.
Why, Mr. Whiteside?
Sarah.
Why, it takes my breath away.
Oh, it'd be wonderful, Mr. Whiteside. What would we tell Mr. and Mrs. Stanley?
Just goodbye.
They'd be awfully mad, wouldn't they? They'd be very kind.
Well, if they ever come to New York, we can have them for dinner. If I'm not in town. Now, run along and think it over. This is our little secret just between us. And put plenty of sherry in that terrapin. Miss Preen! Miss Preen!
Yes, sir? Yes, sir?
What have you got in there anyway, a sailor?
I was just washing my hands.
What time did Miss Cutler go out?
Oh, a couple hours ago.
Did Mr. Jefferson call for her?
Yes, sir.
All right, go back to your sex life.
Dear Mr. Whiteside, may I show you a few mementos of the past? I somehow feel you love them as I do.
I'd be delighted. Miss Stanley, haven't we met somewhere before?
Oh no, I would have remembered. It would be one of my cherished memories, like these. Look, here I am with my first sweetheart under our lovely beechwood trees. I was 8, he was 10. I have never forgotten him. What happy times we had. What?
But I tell you what I'm going to.
There's someone coming.
Now, Ernest!
Be quiet, Daisy. Mr. Whiteside, I want to talk to you. I don't care whether you're busy or not. I've stood all that I'm going to stand.
Indeed.
This is the last straw. I've just received a bill from the telephone company for $784. Oklahoma City, Calcutta, Hollywood, Australia, Rome, New York, New York, New York. Now, Mr. Whiteside, I realize you're a distinguished man of letters.
Yes, of course we both do.
Please. But in the past week, we have not been able to call our souls our own. We haven't had a meal in the dining room once. I have to tiptoe out of the house in the morning.
Now, Ernest!
Oh, I come home to find convicts. Butcher shot murderers sitting on my dinner table. A man putting cockroaches in the kitchen.
They just escaped, Ernest!
That's not the point. I go into the bathroom and bump into 22 Chinese students that you invited here. I tell you, I won't stay in court no matter who you are.
Have you quite finished?
No, I have not. I go down the cellar this morning and show the omnibus that William Beebe sent you. I tell you, I won't stay in court. Mr. Whiteside, I want you to leave this house as soon as possible and go to a hotel. Stop pawing at me, Daisy. That's all I've got to say, Mr. Whiteside.
And quite enough, I should think. Must I remind you, Mr. Stanley, that I'm not a willing guest in this house? I'm informed by my doctor that I must remain quiet for another 10 days, at which time I shall leave here so fast that the wind will knock you over, I hope. If, instead, you insist on my leaving before that, thereby cause me to suffer a relapse, I shall sue you for every additional day I'm held inactive, which will amount, I assure you, to a tidy sum.
This is outrageous! Outrageous!
As for the details of your petty complaints, those 22 Chinese students came straight from the White House, where I assure you they used the bathroom too.
Oh, Mr. Whiteside, my husband didn't...
Yes, I did! I meant every word of it!
There is only one point that you make in which I see some slight justice. I do not expect you to pay for my telephone calls, and I shall see to it that restitution is made. Could you provide me with the exact amount?
I certainly can, and I certainly will.
Good, good. I shall instruct my lawyer to deduct this from the $150,000 I'm suing you for.
Now, Ernest!
And I'll thank you not to trip over that octopus which once belonged to Chauncey Depew.
Oh, now, Ernest, you mustn't get excited! Mr. Whiteside's a guest in our
Give me the Visalia Journal, please. Hello, Journal. Is Mr. Jefferson there? When do you expect it? No message. Come here, you two. Come on, I'm not going to bite you. Now, look here. I am by nature a gracious and charming person. If I veer at it, it's on the side of kindness and amiability. Now, I've been observing you two for this past week, and you seem to be extremely likable young people. Now, I'm afraid that when we first met, I was definitely unpleasant to you, and for that I apologize, and I wish that in the future you would not treat me like something out of Edgar Allan Poe. How do you like my new tie?
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. This makes things much pleasanter, and I think your tie is very pretty.
Now that we're on speaking terms, Mr. Whiteside, I don't mind telling you I've been admiring all of your ties.
Would you like this one?
I certainly do.
Oh, that's yours.
Oh, why thank you.
Really, this curious legend that I'm a difficult person is pure fabrication. Ice skating, eh? Ah, me, I used to cut figure eights myself. Arm in arm with Betsy Ross, waving the flag behind us.
It was wonderful on the ice today. Miss Cutler and Mr. Jefferson were there too.
Maggie, ice skating.
Yes, and she's quite good too. I've got marvelous photographs of her.
Were they still there when you left?
I think so.
Yes, they were.
Mr. Whiteside, mind if I grab a photograph of you? I'd love to have one.
Very well. Would you like my profile?
You're done for, Mr. Whiteside. My brother's a camera fiend.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. I've got a great one. Hello, Miss Cutler.
Hello, Miss Cutler.
Hello there. Good evening, Sherry. Really? Sherry, you got this place looking like an old parrot cage. Did you nap while I was out? What's the matter, dear? Can't run away with your tongue.
Don't look at me with those great cow eyes, you sex-ridden hag. Where have you been all afternoon? Alec hanging around with Bert Jefferson?
Sherry, Bert read his play to me this afternoon. It's superb. It isn't just that play written by a newspaper man. It's superb. I want you to read it tonight. It just cries out for Cornell. Will you send it to her, Sherry, and will you read it tonight?
No, I will not read it tonight or any other time. And while we're on the subject of Mr. Jefferson, you might ask him if you wouldn't mind paying your salary since he takes up all your time.
Oh, now, Sherry, it isn't as bad as that.
I have not even been able to reach you, not knowing what haylofts you frequent.
Stop behaving like a spoiled child, Sherry.
Oh, don't take that patronizing tone with me, you sleep-bitten Cleopatra. I'm sick and tired of you sneaking out like a lovesick high school girl every time my back is turned.
Sherry, I'm afraid you hit the nail on the head.
Well, stop acting like Zazu Pitts and explain yourself.
Well, make it quick, Sherry. I'm in love.
Nonsense, this is merely delayed puberty.
No. Sherry, I'm afraid this is it. You're going to lose a very excellent secretary.
You're out of your mind.
Yes, I think I am a little. But I'm a girl who's waited a long time for this to happen, and now it has. Mr. Jefferson doesn't know it yet. But I'm going to try my darndest to marry him.
Is that all?
Yes, except that... Well, I suppose this is what might be called my resignation, as soon as you got someone else.
Now, listen to me, Maggie. We have been together a very long time. You're indispensable to me. But I think I'm unselfish enough not to let that stand in the way where your happiness is concerned. Because whether you know it or not, I have a deep affection for you.
I know that, Sheriff.
Well, that being the case, I will not stand by and allow you to make a fool of yourself.
I'm not, Sherry.
You are, dear. You're behaving like a Booth Tarkington heroine. It's incredible. I cannot believe that a girl who for the past 10 years has had the great of the world served up on a platter before her. I cannot believe that it is anything but a kind of temporary insanity when you were swept off your feet in 7 days by a second-rate, small-town newspaper man.
I can't explain what's happened, Sherry. I can only tell you that it has. It's hard for me to believe, too. Here I am, a hard-bitten old cynic, behaving like True Story magazine and liking it. Discovering the moon and ice skating. I keep laughing to myself all the time, but there it is. What can I do about it, Sherry? I'm in love.
We're leaving tomorrow. Hip or no hip, we're leaving tomorrow. I don't care if I fracture the other one. Get me a train schedule and start packing. I'll pull you out of this, Miss Stardust. I'll get the ants out of those moonlit pants.
It's no good, Sherry. It's no good. I'd be back on the next streamlined train.
It's completely unbelievable. Can you see yourself, wife of the editor of the Salient Journal, having eating at home for Mr. and Mrs. Stanley, Mr. and Mrs. Poopface, and the members of the Book of the Month Club?
Sherry, I've had 10 years of the great figures of our time, and don't think I'm not grateful to you for it. I've loved every minute. They've been wonderful years, gay and stimulating. I don't think anyone's ever had the fun we've had. But a girl can't laugh all the time, Sherry. There comes a time when she wants Bert Jefferson. You don't know Bert, Sherry. He's gentle and unassuming. Oh, I love him, that's all.
I see. Well, I remain completely unconvinced. You're drugging yourself into this Joan Crawford fantasy, and before you become completely anesthetized, I shall do everything in my power to bring you to your senses.
Now listen to me, Whiteside. I know you. Lay off. I know what devil you can be. I've seen you do it to other people, but don't you dare do it to me. Don't drug yourself into the idea that all you're thinking of is my happiness. You're thinking of yourself a little bit too, and all those months of breaking in somebody new. I've seen you in a passion before, when your life has been disrupted and you couldn't dine in Calcutta on July 12th with Boo Boo. That's too bad. But there it is. I'm going to marry Bert, if he'll have me. And don't you dare try any of your tricks. I'm on to every one, so lay off. That's my message to you, Big Lord Fauntleroy.
Hello, operator. I'd like to place a transatlantic call. Hello, transatlantic operator. This is Mikaela 142. I'd like to speak with Miss Lorraine Sheldon. Sheldon. She's on the Normandy and sailed from Southampton the day before yesterday. Will it take long? All right, my name is Whiteside. Thank you.
Good evening, John.
Good evening, Doctor.
Mr. Whiteside.
Come back tomorrow, Doctor. I'm busy.
Well, good evening, Mr. Whiteside. Now, what would be the best news I can give you?
You have rabies?
No, you are perfectly well. You can get up here and you can leave here tomorrow.
What do you mean?
Well, I've been looking at these x-rays and they were all Mrs. Moffat. And you are perfectly, absolutely well.
Lower your voice, will you?
What's the matter? Aren't you pleased?
Delighted, naturally. Has a very unexpected bit of news, Doctor. It comes at a very curious moment. I have some good news for you, too. I've been reading your book, 40 Years, what is it?
In a Ohio Doctor.
Yes. I consider it extremely close to being one of the great literary contributions of our time.
Mr. Whiteside.
So strongly do I feel about it that I have a proposition to make to you. Just here and there, the book is a little uneven, a little rough. And what I would like to do is to stay here in the Salient and work with you on it.
Mr. Whiteside, I'd be so terribly honored.
Yes, but there is just one difficulty. If my radio sponsors and lecture bureau were to learn that I am well, I would be forced to leave the Salient and honor my contracts. Therefore, we must now tell anyone, not anyone at all, that I am well.
No, not even my wife.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well, when do you think we can start working on it? Tonight?
Tomorrow morning? This is a private call. Would you forgive me, please?
Tomorrow morning.
Yes, tomorrow morning. Goodbye. Hello? Yes, this is Whiteside. I'll put them through. Hello, is this my blossom girl? How are you, my lovely? Yes, I'm all right. Yes, still out here. Tell me, Lorraine, when you land in New York? Tuesday, well, that's fine. No, I have great news for you, Ben. Listen closely. I discovered a wonderful little play when enchanting plotted it for you. Cornell would give her eye teeth to play it, but I think if you jump on a train, you can swing it. No, let me tell you. The author's a young newspaper man here in town. Of course he wants Cornell, but if you jump on a train to get out of here, I think you can swing it, if you play your cards right. No, he's young and very attractive, and just your dish, my dear. It just takes a little doing, and you're the girl that can do it. Isn't that exciting, my pet? Yes. Yes, that's right. Oh, and look, don't send me any messages. Just get on the train and arrive. Oh, don't thank me, pet. It's perfectly all right. Just have a nice trip and hurry out here. Goodbye, Blossom. Hello, Miss Preen. God, you're looking radiant this evening.
Sherry, I'm sorry for what I said before. I'm afraid I was a little unjust.
Oh, that's all right, Maggie, dear. We all lose our tempers every now and then.
I promised to have dinner with Bert and go to a movie, but we'll come back here and play cribbage with you instead.
Fine.
See you soon, Sherry dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Eyes just a little rabbit in the sunshine, eyes just a little rabbit in the rain. I nibble on my lettuce leaf all morning.